about that moment out there?
Sucks. You know, it sucks, but at the same time, there's understanding with it, and you know, I'm not a big believer on. I feel like once we start dropping the ball against guys that we've won against and everything, I think it's time to step away. And you know, I've gone from almost wrestling for a spot on this team last year to being injured now for 6 months, and then being blessed with twins and everything. And I know I just think a combination of things over the last couple of years has just led to it. But I think, I just think that I have a lot of respect for this sport and for the guys that do it. And if I'm not competing to my best, it's time to walk away. And I give nothing but credit, obviously to Colin and all these guys. And, I wish it was on a better note. I wish I'd be riding off in the sunset. But I guess technically I am. I have my kids, so I'm always going to sunset. Coach put it in perspective. Two things right there. I have twins. Two things right there show me there's bigger things in wrestling. So I'm, it's hard, but at the same time, I've been blessed with a great career. Like I said, I told someone else earlier, I look at my career as a rocking chair. When I'm old and decrepit, I'm rocking in my rocking chair, can I look back on my life and have no regrets? And I can. I've had a career. Most of these people, even that are wrestling still today, could dream of. So I've been blessed with what I have. I've been blessed with what I've done. And I'm still blessed with what things I'm going to do in the future and the things that I have in my life that are guaranteed. So I'm good for it. You got to cut that beard, dude.
I appreciate you. You've battled so many just things in your life. Like you said, injuries. You missed weight in 2021. I mean, you've had some things happen, come down the pipe at you. But you've battled back. You always, you make no excuses. The injury last year. How have you been able to try and battle for these things? And now you got, I got your kids in the video. This is probably kind of fitting, but how have you been able to be a father, a husband, and all the things you've been able to do?
Well, honestly, I think the biggest thing was my wife. Because after that, after the injury, I went to a really dark place. I won't shadow it. I was not a great, at that time when we didn't have kids, so I wasn't a great husband. I was sitting around, not doing much, just in a lot of hardship. And, I kind of give credit for her to help me get back on that horse hey, we got work to do. But she let me, she supported me. She didn't force anything down my throat or anything like that. She just supported me to get me back on my feet. I wasn't really talking to anybody and whatnot. And I had to do some digging for myself to be a better husband, person for myself, but a husband as well. I was just kind of in a rut, a very deep rut. And so without her, I don't know if I would even made it here. So I'm blessed to have a good one, that's for sure.
You did a video with Mark Bader where you were on the highway and you talked about you were going to walk into the highway. You've been to dark places, and you've been open about it. Mm-hmm. How do you conquer these demons and continue to move forward to the next chapter of life?
I think I've gotten a lot better at looking to those who are around me and surrounding myself with people that are really genuinely wanting to help. Not for the sake of getting something out of you, not for the sake of getting you back on the mat, not for the sake of what your talents or whatnot, for the sake of you being you. Someone who can that normal person that walks down the street. I think that's the biggest thing, and that's been something huge for my friends, to my family, to my wife, everyone, that they just wanted J'den to be J'den. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think the reasoning behind why people are helping you and wanting to do the best for you is really important. And I think on top of that, accepting help when it's offered. I think that's a big thing. And I think it's a hard thing for everyone because we see it we view it as weakness nowadays sometimes. It's weak to say, hey, I need help, I need support. And so just getting to that point, I think it's important for people to understand that it's not weakness, it's strength in numbers. And so I'm blessed to the people who have been influential in my life to help me get to the places I've been and to continue to help me get to the places I'm going.
When you think about...
We saw you on crutches last year at finalist. Do you mind sharing what the injury was?
Yeah, so I fractured my ankle. I'm not good with anatomy. It's a tibia. I'm not good with it. But thank goodness I didn't have to get surgery, but I had to sit out in a boot for 6 months. And in that 6 months is where I was kind of in a big rut. That was what the hardest thing was for me, especially with the timing of everything. And I'd worked so hard to get to that point to wrestle Snyder again. And so, you know, I wish I could have had another crack on it, but it just wasn't to be. And it's okay, you know, it's all right. I think through this, even there'll be some hardship, but because I'm competitive and we all love to compete. So, but I think also at the same time, I don't regret my decision. I know it was the right one. And like I said, the respect I have for the guys, if I'm not to my caliber, then it's time to walk away.
When at that press conference last year, you told me you were thinking about going into Greco after the cycle. Is it easy to give up on that idea?
I won't say never on that, but like, I definitely need to take time. I just think, you know, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, it's been through a lot the last couple of years. I've always having to scrap and battle, and that stuff can wear on you a little bit, you know. I think now it's time for me to enjoy life for what life is. And I think it's honestly, for me, it's a growth moment for sure, because, you know, as a competitor, as a wrestler, you know, you think about, it's hard to see things past wrestling sometimes. You know, you're like, oh, if I walk away, what will people think, this and that? And I didn't have that thought here. It's like, it's not about you guys. And, you know, no offense, like, it's not about you guys. It's not about what you think. It's about what's best for me and what I believe is what's best. It's not even about my kids or my wife. Like, I'm making a decision for myself, you know. So I think that's the big thing for me. So I won't say never, but
He's the man.
But I definitely think that I need to take some time.
When did you make the decision?
I told KJ. So KJ came up to me after, because I was, you know, obviously he didn't know. I didn't tell anybody about it. I believe that a decision like that should be made with you yourself, you know, me, myself, and I. And so, and he asked, like, don't make a decision off emotions. Like, it's not emotional. I kind of been feeling this way for a moment. I've had it through the year a little bit. You know, I've pushed through so many things, and I've tried to, you know, subside them, you know, but I think right there when I see that, like I said, just not wrestling to your potential, you know, I think it's time to let somebody else take up the mantle on that. So I don't have a problem with that. I understand it, and like I said, all kudos to Colin. You know, obviously, I know he's been waiting to pull that one over on me for a while. We've had some battles, so you know, I hope for the best for him. And yeah, I don't know what's next for me, but you know, you'll hear it when it's there. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, never say never on that.
When you think about your legacy, how do you want to be remembered in this sport?
Well, I hope everyone thought I was a nice guy. I guess, you know, I was a nice guy. I had fun. I competed to have fun. I don't know. I mean, I think my accolades speak for themselves. You know, I don't really know what else to say to it, but I think overall, just, hey, there's a guy that loved to compete, had fun doing it. You know, did it his way. I think that's a big thing for me. I did it my way. Now, that way didn't end up always the greatest, but I did it my way. And I think I would encourage any athlete to do it as well. You know, worked hard, put his heart and soul in everything. And yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I don't want to be seen as like I don't need to be seen as another tough guy or anything like that. We have plenty of those, you know, but just the guy, you know, had fun, did it his way, enjoyed wrestling, competed, came out, did his thing. And seemingly for the most part I don't want to say came out of nowhere, but like my career started at kind of out of nowhere. I went from, I just remember in 2016 going from being ranked 9th to then going on and winning, you know, 4 or 5 medals, you know, 5, 6 medals, all, you know, all boom, 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 back to back, back. And it's always been true, it's the same as it always is. I'm just, you know, boy from Columbia, Missouri, who just loves to wrestle. It's always been true from day one, so that's what it is.
When you were a kid starting out in Columbia, did you ever think you would be one of the greatest American wrestlers of all time?
No, to be honest with you, no. I wasn't even thinking about the Olympics or Worlds or anything like that. I just wrestled to wrestle, you know. So to be considered in that list and to be in that list is great. And even for me, you know, I hope that there are many more. Like I said, I have a lot of respect and love for the sport. Hope there are many more people that come and surpass. Like, that's the thing I always tell people. Like, I'm not looking for you to, you know, follow the footprints. I'm looking for you to surpass it. You know, create your own. So I hope there are people that come in and take over and do even more than what I did. You know, and if it's something where I can be someone of service to help somebody do that, like that's great, you know, or even as simple as a phone call or anything, like I hope that's great. But that's my passion. That's my love for Team USA and, you know, America, what we do. I want us to, excuse my language, I want us to be badass, you know, so I want us to do what we do. So whatever it takes to help people get to that point, you know, I'm willing to do that. And yeah, you know, so I hope people surpass everything. You know, I don't want my legacies, I believe, are meant to be surpassed, not to be cemented. So yeah, I think that, you know, if people remember what I've done, great, but I want the next person to come by and freaking just blow my stuff out of the water. That'd be great to watch, you know what I mean? So I think that truly shows the legacy, honestly, seeing other people come and surpass what people have done. I think that's why we got the JBs and all these guys, the Snyders, the David Taylors, Kyle Dakes, all these guys doing great things, that they're surpassing people, you know. So and even myself, we've surpassed people, like we get to do those things. So I think that truly cements people's legacy rather than tarnishes it, to show that, hey, these people put in the work and the time to actually do more. And so I think it's pretty awesome.
You're a multi-talented guy. You can sing, you can do it all, right? Where do you go from here? Is it to the sport of wrestling? Is it to show business? Is it music? Is it administration? What do you do?
All the above. I do know I've been thinking about and planning on going back to school to be a lawyer. So I want to study law. Hey, I heard you. It's good to see you. But yeah, to study, I think about like to study law. That's something I've been thinking about, and I don't know why. It's kind of like I watch a lot of stuff when it comes to, like, you know, those judge shows and stuff like that, and I just would really like to be a part of that and be in that. And I don't know. I'm a big believer in justice, so something I kind of want to go towards. Other than that, you know, music's kind of been underway already. I got some songs in the making already, and talking with some people, so that's something there. As far as the wrestling goes, helping anybody with wrestling, I haven't really explored that much. I kind of kept my focus on myself and doing that. So as far as coaching or anything like that, I'm not too sure. You know, I used to say I didn't want to coach because I wasn't sure I had the patience, and I wanted to help people build the love for the sport rather than break them down. So I'm not sure how that will change now that I'm stepping away for a bit. So I don't know how that would be.
You might have an offer over your left shoulder as Coach Smith. I don't know. Maybe that's coming. I don't know.
Hey, I didn't know. Did I approve this?
It's okay.
Good. Love you, man.
It's been fun.
Coached them in 6th and 8th grade football. We were undefeated.
Undefeated. Hey,
Como.
hey, dive right, dive left.
Belly.
Belly, dive right. No, it was dive. Belly was the
Belly.
Belly was the B gap. We were
Crushed
A gaps were
Won a few national titles.
Yeah.
National duels, right?
yeah.
Congrats.
Hey coach, they're asking about my future. You got any spots left in the zoo?
You can always find a spot. You're always welcome home.
Just gonna put them out there, you know, and now we just sprinkle it out there. But no, man, I can't. This is, like I said, it's probably one of the most, it's crazy to say, like, most hardest understanding things I know. Like, I know I'm making the right decision, but it's still hard, you know. And yeah, it's just it's gonna take a moment. I know it's a little shock to some other guys that are around me, that are training with me. Like I said, I didn't tell anybody this, but like I said, I believe it's a decision for me, myself, and I. And I didn't even tell my wife or my family. So I didn't want any influence on it. I wanted it to be my choice, my decision, and yeah, hard, but I understand it.
Staying or going? In Ann Arbor, what are you doing? Staying, going, back to Como?
I mean, honestly, I'll talk with Sean Mormet. I mean, I got to talk to, you know, these guys they were great for me. They helped me out so much. They gave me a place that I trusted the coaches, that I could train and try to become the best I could. I'll talk with Sean about it. I think actually for right now, my wife is actually coaching in Adrian, Michigan. So it's about an hour away from Ann Arbor. And so, you know, at the university. So I think we'll stick around for that if they want guys to come in and roll around or help out. Like I don't think that's illegal to do while retired, but I don't know. But like, you know, help guys out. I'll do whatever they ask of me. You know, they've done so much for me. I'm blessed to have been a part of that. I never would have thought in my wildest dreams I'd be in, you know, the Wolverines wrestling room. You know, that I think that one blows my mind the most. But you know, whatever they ask of me, you know, if they want me around and stuff, I'll be there. You know, obviously my wife's still coaching at a university there, so we'll be there. So for right now, yeah, we're gonna stick around there and see what's next. I think that's the big thing for me, is just figure out what's next. And because everyone always asks me, what are you gonna do after? But like, I remember when I was younger, it'd always be like, what are you gonna do, J'den? Wrestle. What are you gonna study? Wrestle. What do you want to do for the rest of your life? I think wrestling's gonna be it. And then, you know, that's all of a sudden not the case. So, but I look forward to it. Like I said, plenty of options. I think the great thing right now is I have so many doors to walk through, and that's awesome for me. So we'll see. But Ann Arbor, yeah, we'll be in there for a little bit.